Hey everyone, this is Tom from MonTac here, and we are back at it again. This is hopefully the final. We've got the Titan Cup final between Crystic from Canada and Diamond Deep Blue from the United States. This is the grand final. They have both fought their way to get up to here, and this is going to be a pretty intense one. The last game they had was meant to be the final one, but it was actually a draw, so they've come back for the rematch. This will hopefully be where we find out who will be taking home the Titan Cup final championship. I don't know, winner, I guess. And joining me this evening, we have got two commentators this time. First, of course, as you know, we'll have Mini Smoke from Brazil, the former champion, doing so well this season. And also now brand new for the final, joining us because he's excited and he wants to do it. We've got Misfire from the United States, former champion, also doing very well this season. Mini Smoke, how are you doing? And then Misfire, if you can say afterwards.
Oh, hello Tom, hello everyone, and hello Misfire for the first time in the commentary booth here. So finally we can see the final game after such long battle and a draw out of nowhere because none of them had enough attacks and enough power to overpower each other. So let's see if we finally have a winner here.
Yes, I gotta say, that is going to be a very interesting dynamic. These two know each other really well, down to the deck.
Even the sideboard, I might say.
Speaking of the sideboard, I talked with Diamond just a few minutes before this game actually started. He said he was gonna bring something from his sideboard to this match. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what that is.
Okay, new stuff, new toys. Okay, this is basic setup of Dark Planets here with the 34. Setting up with Sentence, another 34, and yeah.
Who would have expected Dark Planet to do so well, hey?
Yeah, they do have a lot of things to overpower. I mean, Warder is a pretty big stick, so it takes a lot of resources to take them out.
100%.
Okay, so
Meanwhile, Crystic just going for a class rise and pass.
yeah,
Pretty slow start.
Yeah, it was that way last match, so Crystic was waiting for the appropriate class rises to play his stuff, like Striker is a class of 3, and Warfare is a class of 6.
Could be looking at 4 damage here.
Yeah,
that's how you played in cooldown.
Yeah, but yeah, Crystic played with 1 HP the whole match, almost, the last one. But taking 4 here, I don't see it would be a problem. Or if Diamond sided out any corrosive stuff, now that would be interesting to see.
True, because they did get quite low on health, didn't they?
Yeah.
Looks like we just got Water right off the bat here. We've got Prisoner 67 looking strong. Water's going to have double attacks, and they're going to get back that Prisoner 45, so that should be at least for... Oh, what? Oh, he's adding it. Okay. Jeepers.
Man, he played that Doomsday.
Terrible play.
Yeah.
Okay. He's definitely got 4. Go on.
So it seems like he's playing that second sentence. Sending the prisoner 12.
Yeah, I think he's resolving now. Sorry. Sentence to add up, okay. Yeah, pretty explosive turn for Diamond. Both sentences, setting up his hand. Let's see if Crystic will have to burn his Clytus immediately for defense, or if he'll take the 4 damage.
Well, I imagine he has to go Clytus here. Taking 4 damage this early is a bit ill-advised. I guess we'll have to see, though. He's not really too worried about corrosive, so I don't know. Misfire, in this case, if you lose the 4, do you think that's really worth it? Because you're going to have to play Klytus, but you lose Klytus. Is it really worth... I guess it's that you survive the turn, but then one of your assets is gone. Granted, it's only 1,500, but in this position, do you just let him through?
Well, it seems like we're going to get some sort of answer here, as Crystic is popping down the Star Hand.
Starhand has been quite contentious. A lot of people have been talking about that card being a bit of a nightmare card to deal with. But I know some of the people that talk about that also end up using the same card, so it's just... there's quite a fight. Vinny, are you going to use Starhand, or are you off Starhand at the moment?
I mean, I do like use a lot of constants in my deck, so I don't seem like a good idea to use in Starhand. There's a bunch of new constants that are pretty fun to use, like the Monument of Peace that was recently added. Oh, yeah, but yeah, I think Monument is a discard to pop it, but either way,
yeah,
many constants have half payments.
Yeah, I gotcha. I think there's like a Jade Plague. It's kind of like that. Gosh, what else?
In Crystic's decks here, it's pretty important to run Starhand because there's like pretty specific 2-card combos he can make, like the supporter with Sky Warfare to pop to board wipe on Diamond's turn, for example. So he can afford to not have all his cards in his hand. So
we definitely saw in the last game how long the turns were. So there's definitely a lot of thought going into it. Misfire, in terms of decision paralysis, especially with Starhand, do you think it's going to be a negative factor for Crystic, or do you think the resources are there for him to make the best plays?
That's actually I'd say that's something that comes down with experience in this game. So, you may have a lot of decisions, but choosing the best one is something that comes with experience, not so much... I guess the best way to put it would be just kind of like, hey, I have this option, what do I do? The more you think about it, the less time you'll really have to kind of like think about the consequences. That being said, only 3 damage coming down, so Crystic is not a corrosive away from losing, which is a good thing.
100%.
Yeah. Diamond didn't overcommit into 3-board monster to be susceptible to board wipes.
We have tactical support coming down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why he's not so worried about the health gains, because tactical support can sacrifice itself to gain 4 health points. We've seen him use this. It's a devastating effect against Crimson with Fast Track, which actually was quite nasty with like False Ruler and Dragon Cupid. So using them early may not be a good indication for him, because typically you'd want to save it. Yeah, we'll have to see.
Looks like he's doing it now.
Oh, my untap just randomly crashed out.
Yeah, I just had to refresh mine. Yeah, it looks like he's using it now. We'll have to just see what's if everything's alright on that end. But yeah, we'll have to figure it out. I mean, I think he's in a position now where he's going to just have to start going into his strategy. Time will tell on how he manages and how he makes the most of those Sky Warfares, or Sky Soldiers Warfare, I should say. If he loses any early, or doesn't get them to work properly, it could be quite an issue for him.
Wait, is just me or tactical support is glitched into the field?
Yeah, I have refreshed it. He's just still not gone. So, Minnie, do you mind just checking to see if he's if that tactical support's actually still meant to be there? Just because for some reason it's still there for us.
I think it could be something with Crystic being a little AFK at the moment.
Lag.
Lag.
Okay, lag.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
There we
there
go.
it is. There we go. It's working now. Wild. Cool. Okay, so Crystic comes back, and here we go. So this is going to be contentious for some people. We've got the impact reinforcement, of course. It's going to be a bit of a tough one because of its combo with impact shield. So we are looking to fix that one as of the Titan Cup finishing up. So, but for now, of course, because it was existing during the event, we are unable to change it until afterwards. So this is going to seem a bit wacko. I'm sure Miss Fire can attest.
So I actually don't really have a problem with the impact reinforcement impact shield combo. A lot of it is because draw cards are nice to have in this game. The more draw, the better. And typically, draw isn't like the worst thing in the world. Because you still have to draw into the cards you need. Not so much, I can just draw everything. Because, well, you can't. You're only drawing at max 6 a turn.
Interesting. Me, Smoke, do you share the same thoughts?
I mean, you have to sacrifice 2 deck slots to do the combo. But I mean, if it's really necessary to have all your deck in your hand, probably you have a really specific strategy to account for every single piece of your deck. So yeah, it might have your upsides and downsides, but I mean, the fact that could be generic, it's like the main problem for me.
That's fair. So we've got double. Looks like Skyrocket has gone off, sending 2.
That Wolfman and Quetzal.
Oh, conditions. Mini Smoke's already got it.
Yeah, to set up these Sky Soldier Warfare to be able to pop things.
Yeah, it's pretty wacko. And then we go into the impact shield again, so that will allow him to draw more. Not the worst thing in the world, but goodness me, it definitely was not expected. Funny enough, impact shield was given the clause that it could shuffle itself back because we were worried it might be a bit too bricky. We did not expect it to be used as a cycle draw engine with impact reinforcement. Yeah. Mistakes were made, so we'll have to correct those.
And another upside for Shield in Crystic's deck is to have a reliable way to trigger Felt specialty. That at each time a tactical is activated, he can shuffle it back into the deck, so he can have reliable sources of rummage usages. So more resources for Crystic.
Wasn't Fel changed to not be able to play it itself?
It was, but for this tournament, it is still the old version.
Correct. Because it would be a bit unfair to change it before that event and have them actually enforce that ruling. Final. We actually did not put the mind that it was in his deck, and then it was only until afterwards that we discovered it was in his deck. So we thought, well, we'll stick with the original, as that's what we would do with Impact Reinforcement and Sky Warfare. So it will be the original for this match, but going forward, of course, it will be the newer version. Okay.
Crystic not putting any monsters down.
Yeah.
Just set up the Rocketeer for next turn, but you still have to worry about this turn.
Right now, there's only 3 damage on board, and given the circumstances, the maximum could very well just be 5, which is something that Crystic can survive, so maybe he's not worried.
Potentially. I mean, he's also I think he's got Lamia waiting as well, I would imagine. So you've got defenses, but do you really want to use them so quickly? I don't know. I think it's interesting to see like both players' decks and fields of
Prometheus.
Decks are very similar.
Yeah,
Prometheus. So That is a big one for Diamond. He actually saved it to the very deep late game last time. Now he's playing it a bit earlier.
To be honest, he played early last match, but he was bounced back by a tribal hammer.
You are correct.
So,
you are right.
Yeah. I mean, we could see the same play here by Crystic, but this time I think Diamond will remember to rebirth it.
Yeah. Interesting.
Playing Quetzal from hand?
Yeah. This will be the secondary copy, so we might... No, I don't think there's any... Okay, so you can't go into anything like Sky Warfare right now. You'd have to play a Unity, which you might play on his next turn.
Yeah, I mean, I think for Crystic is like profit if he just survived the rise stages of the match and waited to use everything on sudden death. I don't think Crystic will be in big trouble here.
Let's see.
Right now, we're only looking at 3 potential damage on board.
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. I guess it's just about resources, really. Like, Crystic is in such a rush to get resources or cards in the Perish pile that I feel like it could mean that they actually lose out in the later game. I mean, we saw that Dark Planet actually really kept up like towards the end of that last match. We thought they were going to lose because they were burning through so much, but I think the quality of the plays in terms of how much that Dime was able to get out of the cards that he did play really made the difference. And it seems Crystic is kind of taking the opposite approach. He's using a high quantity, a lot of resources, but they're kind of doing little bits here and there instead of massive things. Yeah, it's interesting. That's a big thing.
We were talking about board removal. Star Striker Mistress coming down.
Yeah, and we are at a class 3 rise, so there is little play here.
Has he even actually rise though? Oh, he can because it's Diamond Deeploin's turn. Right, of course.
Yeah, Diamond's
turn.
Oh, that's nasty.
That's one warder gone. Unless there's revival, that's going to be, I'd say, one more warder to go.
There's still the second Prisoner 12 that can shuffle back Black Planets back into the deck.
100%. Right, Olympus.
There's 1 out of 3, I would say.
I was wondering what happened to that Class 3 prisoner.
Yeah. Honestly, what's really interesting about Radolipus is that I believe he can be... Yes, you can actually hit Radolipus with Plasma Hand Cannon, which allows you to revive a Dark Planet, and then when Radolipus comes back and dies again, you can revive another Dark Planet. So it's like there are a lot of really nice and niche strategies you can do, and Dark Planet is just one of those decks that don't have an overarching strategy that's too strong for these kinds of cards to be broken in. So you've got stuff like Jailer that can sack 1, pop 2, or Doomsday that are board wipes, or you've got Radolipus that can just straight up revive any basic monster and put it back into your deck.
I think Crystic didn't rise it.
Yeah, he's gonna need a rise.
Oh.
It could just be something in the cooldown that they go with, but yeah, there you go.
Yeah, still in the cooldown.
Yeah. So sometimes they preemptively pass the turn before getting everything resolved, so it can be a little bit confusing, but it looks like now we are officially in Crystic's turn.
Okay. And, I find it weird because he played the reinforcement and shield. I thought he already... Oh! Yeah. No, wait.
Wait, he played the reinforcement?
Well, if he's already done it twice, then perhaps he can...
Oh, no. Sorry. He played the shield on Diamond's turn, so he can set it up to play the reinforcement on his turn.
Sure. Gotcha.
I was confused, because it's like, you can't play the second
me too. Now he can set up for reinforcement shields.
Gotcha. Okay. How do you feel about Black King Prometheus? It's a bit of handy card, but we haven't really seen it shine, I guess. I mean, it was good in the last game, but Misfire, how are you feeling about it?
I'm curious to see how this actually plays out for Diamond. I haven't seen Black King Prometheus in a long time.
It's a tough one.
He usually was used to OTKs because of his ability to prevent combat tricks. So, but I mean, now that OTKs are not that reliable anymore, I think he's still a good card. Anyway, so.
Was it December 2023? Scarlet Wrath? Yes! Oh, gosh.
I'm certain there's still a way to play Start Wrath regardless of class.
They're versatile tacticians. But you have to get that guy out first, so.
There's Plasma Hand Cannon, so.
Yeah, maybe if you could play on your enemy's first turn, then you go to your first turn, you could play Tactician, grab Wrath, play Wrath. But why play Wrath when you can play Tribal Armory?
Okay, so let's see if Crystic remembers he can play the Sky Soldiers out of Rocketeer.
I don't think he wants to. I don't know if he really wants to.
He said it.
I mean, didn't you do this
cards on field to remember to activate?
I mean, he can do it at any time.
Not just only during his next preparation.
I mean,
what?
Well, I mean, it's like any time during the preparation stage. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay,
yes,
cool.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I was like, Jeepers, someone get on that. Yeah, I mean, they're big monsters, so why not bring them back? But at the end of the day, I don't know.
I mean, big monsters, but neither of them can really get over that Black King Prometheus. And in the case of Wolfman, it can't do squat to it.
100%. Yeah, Prometheus is such a good card if your enemy doesn't have a lot of. Actually, never mind. I don't know if that really makes a lot of sense. I was going to say it's a good card if you don't have to deal with a lot of popping, then it's literally a popping deck. So, I think Prometheus is pretty solid here, but I mean, obviously if he gets board wiped, he can get it back. So he is going to go for the double revival. Makes sense.
I don't know how he will deal with Black King Prometheus here. Or he just will play it to survive until sudden death.
That could be the way he survives this one.
Only time's gonna tell. Yeah, I mean, it's survival, but I guess maybe he's waiting for Warfare to come online. But he's got, I don't know, does he have Sky Soldiers Unity? Maybe he doesn't run that, I don't remember.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Oh, jeepers, so he's
Really?
gonna try and hard play it. That's tough.
And that's why he just survives until sudden death. So he can play his class 6 stuff.
Jeepers.
I mean, he's still getting over that Prisoner 67.
Yeah, I guess.
But I really do kind of question a lot of the mindset going into this build. Like,
it's a good. Yeah, missed.
It just seems weird to me that he hasn't really put down a lot of Sky Soldier monsters with specialties. At least in the Parish file.
I don't think he's building that way.
Yeah, I think he just used 3, those 5. Oh, Doomsday?
This is big.
Okay,
Doomsday. So he's sending 45 and 12 and getting back the Warder.
So we did think about that before. I don't know, was this a good play? I don't know. Was there a reason to board wipe them? Like, you have the biggest guy on field. I don't know. It's
I mean,
a part of me thinks he wants to actually wrap up this game early, but
but we are still in normal time, so we can gladly take the damage here.
easily.
yeah,
I mean, we have to think that some place like that, it's not like, oh, Doomsday for 1 for 2, but we have to think that it's Doomsday to force a synergy. It's more a regular card in trade-off of an asset card. So, but that usually happens on sudden death, so...
I agree. It is a bit weird. I guess it forces Crystic to have to come up with some new board presence, but I guess it also means that he gets less time to get to, sudden death. Maybe Diamond's going to try and push more damage on him on his next turn. I don't know. I'm not sure.
this is actually really interesting. Well, here comes the reinforcements.
Yeah, reinforcement.
I think he'll be able to draw his entire deck.
I think, he probably...
Has all the pieces now, so can finally start playing aggressively, hopefully.
I
we can see
don't
more
know.
action.
I mean, he can survive this. He can survive next turn, unless Prisoner 45, unless a second Prisoner 45 triggers.
Yeah, because of the extra attacks, putting him on lethal damage range.
Yeah. A second Prisoner 45 would have to perish, and he would have to play an Otherworld before, and he would have to play 2 Otherworld monsters. Well, 1 Otherworld and another monster.
Oh.
So, all things considered, Crystic is actually pretty safe.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say so.
Was a bit lucky that he didn't draw his shield out of reinforcement, because he did use
the Scythe, which could have shuffled the shield back.
Oh, okay. So his Scythe could have this another use with flush and shield.
This has got to be flush, surely.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when, I don't know, I guess it deals with 2 different things at once. Like, it'll stop Rebellion Breaker, and it cancels out Black King's specialty, but it's not going to make it...
It doesn't deal with the Rebirth.
And it definitely doesn't deal with the stat line, so... Eesh.
And no flush.
No flush. I don't think he actually used it. I don't know, maybe he was just revealing what he added. I'm not really quite sure, to be honest. It's a bit of a weird one. I'm not seeing anything different from Diamond's side deck wise, as you mentioned previously, Misfire. So I do wonder what he's cooking up later on. Doesn't look to have anything different. Yeah, so like last game it was quite intense because both players get to the very end, and especially under the current rule set where we're no longer going off the moment you lose all your monsters, we're going off of the moment you actually get wounded. They reached a point where neither player could actually make that final attack to win the game, and it was inevitably a draw. So that was horrific to deal with, but now hopefully that doesn't happen here. And in other news, Scourge has not yet been played even once, so I think Diamond's got quite a fair bit left of playability out of that card.
Yeah, you can't play Scourge yet. There's only 7 in the perished pile.
How many does he need? Does he need 8? He must need 8.
Yeah, 8's for Scourge.
Jesus.
Yeah, Tar, you've made a lot of high-power monsters that require a boatload of monsters.
No comment. Here we go.
And Diamond's only going for the 1.
Yeah, I mean, he could go for more attacks to force it out something out of Crystic before sudden death. But
It is weird. I think he doesn't want to give enough of a board for Crystic to blow up. I think that's what it is. It's conserving his resources.
That makes a lot of sense.
So we've got final turn for Crystic before we hit sudden death where any wounding is lethal. We could see Crystic. I mean, is Crystic just going to pass again? He could. He could just pass out playing another monster and just... I don't know. I mean, he could play a monster and then as soon as Black King attacks, drop the Warfare. I think Diamond would actually not mind that because he's getting rid of one Warfare. However, I think we all can understand that as of the right now, Warfare is not once per copy, so that could be... It might not matter as much as we think.
I think Diamond is asking something. He shaked something off his hand.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a judge question. The judge for this game being the lovely Charging Badger.
Of course, thank you again, Charging Badger.
The 1-mana 1/1 Trampler.
Oh, Cupid!
That's such a good play. You gotta let it through, Diamond, because you can't impose to stop it. Is he gonna fall for it? There's no way he falls for it. He's actually thinking about it. That can't be right. I'm sure.
No way.
There's no way he's actually thinking about it.
I mean, it's not sudden death yet, so this Cupid isn't a game winner, but...
Yeah, that's big. This is the turn before sudden death, though, so it is... Yeah, you're right. It could have been waited a little bit.
But now the Rebellion Breaker and... Oh, Flash Strike!
So
that was genius.
Wow. That's so good.
That does trigger the Rebirth, though.
Yeah, he will get it back on his next turn.
Only next
turn. That
turn.
was genius!
That was so good. Dang, that was such a good play. It gets rid of one of those. So that means that when Black King next goes, if it's through a Warfare, then it's actually going to be fine because Black King's forever gone. That was really nice. So this is what I'm going to say about Crystic. He finds these really ingenious ways to deal with it, and I feel like his deck is so well built for any number of situations to encounter. Even if you take away the Warfare and stuff, it's still so good.
He didn't play anything off the fast track, though.
Yeah, it would matter because it's only one more damage.
Yeah.
And we are already on sudden death, so...
I mean, true, but it could have been something relatively big, like a false ruler, maybe. But
false is good, but I don't think he wants to use false just yet, and he doesn't have to worry about breaking in his hand. So now, yeah, both players are going and getting their cards for sudden death. This is where it really starts to boil down. Black King is back. This could make a big difference.
But it no longer has the specialty of Rebellion Breaker.
And it won't have Rebirth again. It's just a straight up 3k that prevents tacticals being played when it enters a conflict. So
that's Rebellion Breaker.
Oh, oops, sorry, that's right. Okay,
it's the power
we
double.
did switch that. Honestly, that's actually better. I think that's better to have the power double because that's a 6k Prometheus against any number of different things the opponent could play. Water.
Here comes a warder.
But this is going to be Warfare territory. I don't know if this is This is going to force the Warfare.
Maybe that's what Diamond wants to do.
But you're losing such a good card in Water at 6,100. Okay.
He still has a second. Let's keep that in mind.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think Diamond's just...
Oh, he's absolutely begging for that Water. he's begging.
At this point, I would actually disagree with playing another monster here. Because you're in Warfare territory, And Warfare, at best, would be a 1-for-1 trade in this situation. Playing another monster actually gives you a card disadvantage.
Plus, it's just like, you don't need it to be a threat. You can already kill the Cupid and then try to attack the game with the sudden death rule. So I don't think it's really warranted. We'll have to find out. Maybe he's going to play Scourge and hope it dies early.
He can't.
Oh, he still can't play it. Dang, okay.
There's still only 7 other world monsters.
There will be a Warders, Warder soon. So let's see if Diamond can have game here, but probably not. He'll just play Clytus. But I mean, he still doesn't had played the Sky Warfare to use Ruby Blessing out of Clytus and bring it back. We might see that line if Diamond goes for Lethal here, but
yeah,
I mean, I think one Sky Warfare is just enough. You don't have to think that much or burn that much.
If I was Diamond in this situation, I really would just get the first Warfare out. You're dealing with it, I'd say, maybe like 3 times, maybe?
There's still the calculated Gambit, but I don't think... Yeah, I mean, he has other targets for calculated Gambit, but ideally it's...
And there he goes, he's attacking. It's as if he heard my mind. He's going for the attack. And not playing it down.
Oh, that's such a... Wow, okay, sure, alright.
This is lethal! Never mind!
Oh, yeah, that's so nasty. Oh, that's so disgusting. I don't know, I feel like still Warfare was better, because you can kill Prometheus there, but... yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. That's a good
Maybe
play.
he has another method for dealing with that, but now Scourge is online.
Yeah,
I think if Diamond changed the order of the attacks, could put up a bigger problem, because I mean,
I don't necessarily agree with that, because Crystic could still play the Star Striker Mistress during the attack, and if a monster passes, the attack is cancelled. The only real difference would be that
he could kill Star Striker then.
Yeah, Star Striker instead of Cupid.
So I feel like that might have been better then. I think actually I agree with Minnie. I think if he had done that, yes, it wouldn't have really made a huge difference, but he at least could use Black King to get rid of the Star Striker instead of the Cupid. Just because I feel like losing Star Striker more than Cupid matters.
I mean, that would also depend on the synergy conditions of the monsters he has left.
Okay, so we've got a bit of a, one-on-one. There we go, cleans that up.
Well, he just pressed. Oh my god, what Crystic is plotting here?
It's like super controlled, this match. Like, it's like both players are really, really trying to not make any mistakes. So it's like a very, very slow-moving, but, they are trying to do the best they can.
Yeah.
Let's see. Crystic will have some power play here.
I wonder if he does the Cupid fast track strat again.
Not a bad play. But, I don't know. I mean, it's good. But, wouldn't you want to use that for something like Sentry?
Yeah,
good point.
I was thinking. I mean, right now, Prometheus is just a big guy on field, so doesn't pose such a threat threat.
But it's a threat that Crystic has to remove.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think he's also got such an awkward stat line. Like, it's 3k, which is not really easy to get over, and then even it... Oh, okay, never mind. Never mind, it looks like he's doing it.
Doing it again.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah, Crystic realizing that he has to deal with this Prometheus in some way, shape, or form.
I mean, he could just use it to attack here. Doesn't necessarily use fast track.
Yeah.
I just don't know if fast track has any good uses outside of doing that. I don't know. Oh, Clytus.
Forcing out the Clytus.
So theoretically, you could just sack... You could have Prometheus beat over Clytus and then sack the Prometheus with fast track.
No, that would be that would be a nice play.
It would be good. And then you could play it like a false rule, right? Or is it only during prep stage for fast track? I think it's during any point in the game.
Yes.
Yeah. It can even attack during the during that turn's conflict.
Hmm. Yeah, true. So he could actually, he could Black King over Clytus, kills it, but again, no health loss. So Diamonds can be safe here. How do you guys feel since Clytus has been changed to this specific version of him? I feel like there's been quite a fair... I feel like it's quite good for those like, it does stop those OTK options, but it is quite different to when he used to be able to pop things.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to have anti-OTK stuff. Okay.
I'm not sure... Oh, right, send the infantry for the Clytus condition. So, Prometheus... Yeah, Prometheus did attack over the Clytus.
Yeah, he shake it because he can't target because it's not his card.
He can still target a card.
No, but like, make the opponent card target something else. You can target the opponent's card, but not make the opponent's card target other things. Because it's not...
I really thought you could. Okay.
It's definitely doable on PC with the O key.
Okay.
Synergy reaction!
That's so weird. Why? I guess it kills Black King, but it's such a weird play. I don't know. That's so weird. I don't know why I think it's so weird, but it's just weird to me.
I don't blame you.
It's just weird.
Wait, have he cited that from the last game to this one, or he always had?
He might have had it. It's a removal tool, so I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't in the original game.
There's the plasma hand cannon. I assume that's gonna be in cooldown.
Yeah. So Black King's dead. That's a cool thing. For Crystic. Any predictions? Anyone got any idea of Misfire? Who do you think is winning this currently? Do you think anyone's got the edge?
That's a really good question. If I were to give an answer now, though, I'd say Crystic actually has the upper hand.
Yeah, he still has all of his asset pile to work with, so... I don't think it's that one-sided of a match. I think it's pretty equal.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mixture for me. I feel like Diamond, lost that, but I feel like, I don't know, Crystic's using a lot of really good anti-sentry cards right now. I guess he's going to use Warfare for it later, but I don't know. Diamond's going to have to come up with something.
And that could very well be what he comes up with. 3,200, 2 attacks. That could very well force out the Clytus.
True. I think you're right. I think that the second attack especially is what makes this so important here. I can't imagine. I mean, I guess Hammer Down, right? Hammer Down does stop it. So, I could draw out a good card from Crystic.
And there's the
Okay,
attack.
First attack into Cupid. Second attack into game.
Could this be? No.
I don't think
so. Yeah, so technical support. So he can beat over it. I mean, yeah. I just think you just get beat over it, right? Like, I mean, what? It's not like Crystic can sacrifice it, because if he sacrifices it, then Diamond could go for game. So you just beat over the tactical support. Makes sense to me.
I mean, he doesn't need the health, because any wound is lethal, so... And Diamond doesn't run any constant tacticals, so... Okay, Crystic survive another turn.
I feel like that is absolutely the theme of this match, is Crystic pacing himself. I will say Crystic is playing this exceptionally well. Ooh, okay, a false ruler. That's going to do nothing. That's going to do nothing.
I mean, Prisoner 45 does have a constant specialty.
It's a 500 boost. Oh, God.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, no. Oh, that's depressing. That's so depressing.
Sounds like my story arc in 2023.
Yeah. Ah, dear. And look at where you are now. Look at you go. Look at you.
Yeah. All it took was a year of playing nothing but angels to get to the point where I am now.
You say that like, you weren't an angel player. Although I guess you did do a bunch of deck switching at some point. But,
sad I couldn't bring angels to the Titan Cup final. I got infinitely looped by some wolf thing.
The bandits. Right, I forgot that was a thing. Yeah. I think we actually did fix that one, because there's...
Yeah, we did.
It was fixed. And I think we're having some lag because Prisoner 45 is still in play for me.
Oh no, it's a token. I think it's to remember that its second effect can still activate it. Speaking of...
Okay. So...
Give that a little refresh in my end. He must have pushed it off to the side. Cool. Alright. So, yep, we've got
Prisoner 67 is going to get the additional attack and the power boost.
Which is good, but it actually has triggered this turn. Oh, I guess the false ruler can't attack it, thank goodness. So, honestly, this is probably a good thing. Probably really good. But...
Yeah, false ruler can't do anything to it right now.
But he can kill water next turn. As soon as he passes the turn, he just pops water. So...
Here, Diamond still has priority. So
I don't know what he can really do in one single... I guess he's going to Doomsday it?
I would not Doomsday in this position.
How are you killing that bloody false ruler before it kills your water?
That's a good question. Specialty removal, maybe?
I don't know if there's anything fast enough. I don't think... He can't use War Gear fast enough here, because he's got no asset. He can't use... He could use Flush, but he doesn't have Flush. He can't use Synergy Null, because it's not a Synergy. I think give it Hailing Arrows. Hailing Arrows would be great here, but I don't think he actually has it. So he's going to get a Conflict.
He's passing priority.
Yeah, it goes, yeah. So I feel like that was a bad play. I'm not sure why he actually... I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Clearly I'm missing something, because that seemed like a huge waste.
Yeah. Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. That was not a good time to play a warder.
Let's see. So we could see something like a Hammer Down. Anything to keep that false rule alive. It's such a valuable card for Crystic here. It just sets the tone for any sort of enemy interaction, just to know that, hey, your sentry's played, I can pop it. Your warder's played, I can pop it. Yeah.
You know, something is telling me deep down, Diamond's like, God dang it, why did I play the Warder in this situation?
Have to be, right? Have to be.
Like, he's probably saying that exact same thing in the chat that they're doing right now for this match.
You know what's funny? I bet you as soon as we release this, he's going to be like, actually, at the 35th minute, I'm going to tell you guys, it was actually it was completely according to plan.
You know, that does
completely
sound
meant to do that. No, you guys didn't see the line, okay? The line was there. I forced him to use false rules so that I could use this thing later on in the game because he didn't know I was going to do that.
Oh, speaking of, false rules gone. And that's going, and that second attack from 67, I think that's forcing out the Colitis.
Could be. I imagine you're right.
Finally forcing some asset monster.
No, Lamia!
It can get over still. It's still big enough, I think, right? Because Lamia's 24.
Yeah, it's over by 100, but
100.
That's a block.
That's pretty, but it gets through it though. That's the thing. Like he's not. It's a block, yes, but I think Clytus would have been okay. Lamia, I think, has still some sort of, oomph to it. Losing Lamia is a bit weird here, I think, to be honest.
I mean, he would either lose Clytus or Lamia either way. I think he judged it was better to save Clytus, lose health loss prevention on another turn.
I think he's trying to wait out for the time he can play that third warfare.
Ooh, yeah, might be. But you haven't seen an angle to use the first one. The first warfare.
That's where I'm getting kind of interested. Another false roar, that's not going to do anything yet.
That's so good. See, this is so good for Diamond. This is such a good position to be in. Okay,
and
so felt's going to be nasty. That's going to be disgusting. Okay.
What's that going to get, though?
It can rummage anything from Diamond's Perish, so we could get a Plasma's not going to do much. Infantry, maybe? Let's see what other options we got. Doomsday doesn't work. Oh, right, I guess Infantry? I haven't really seen the full scope of Diamond's Perish pass, so if you guys could think of something
He's
cool.
He's getting the Rebirth. Or the Rebellion Breaker? I mean, I guess either one works, but...
I think...
what?
I mean, he could...
What are we
use to shuffle it back and draw one.
I guess.
I mean, that would be a method to the madness, but... Wait,
How's he playing?
That's not...
How does that even happen? There's no way that... Is it a wild play? It's not a wild play.
No,
it's not a wild play.
No, it's not.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Not legal.
Oh,
okay,
they caught it. They caught it out, and there's the warfare.
This is such a hectic turn.
What
are they doing? What are they doing? This is insanity. This is actually insanity.
Oh, wait, but warfare is until it leaves play. No, wait.
Until this card leaves play, when the selected monster leaves play. Oh my!
Okay, so Felt not necessarily has to perish to activate the board, right?
Correct.
So,
that's how we avoid the tracking. We had to say until it leaves play. Let's see. Okay. So that's going to use that. You got Black King's Rebellion Breaker that he's going to shuffle back to trigger the Felt to be shuffled back. Is that what's happening? What does it do? It says you may shuffle this card back in the deck.
Then drop to 1.
Yeah, so the Tactical Activated is going to trigger it, which he can then shuffle this card back in your deck. If you do, you may play it once. You can literally shuffle back in his deck and then play it again to proc the warfare, killing that 67.
There is something I do want to say to the viewers real quick, so they don't get confused. Felt does say with a different name, and that is Narada, but in this particular matchup in the Titan Cup final, they are using the old specialty of Fel, which allows it to play itself.
Correct. So in this case, it is workable. And then he's going to use that to go back into Diamond's deck. Why he's done that, I'll have no clue. Warfare trigger.
So do keep in mind that when you rummage a card, it goes back to the perish pile at the end of the turn, no matter where it is.
I guess that means Diamond could use it for any sort of elders if he had any. Like, it kind of gives him the ability to do something like a free resource. Funny enough. So Felt is going to...
I think Felt played itself and rummage a second time.
Yeah, it's rummaging the second time to get the rebirth.
I don't know why. It doesn't matter. Why? It's such a random...
just for fun, I guess.
Such a goof.
I mean, it's the second best option.
He could use infantry just to gain
and that's going to force out its synergy. And if it has a specialty that activates or is a while in play, false roar, just Scourge?
Scourge is fine. Scourge, it doesn't activate. It doesn't activate unless...
Jailer!
Sure. That's not bad. It's not bad either. He can play that. That's good. I like that.
Yeah, and its specialty isn't a while in play, so it's safe from False Ruler.
Interesting.
Wouldn't it be funny if he plays like a second Warfare and rams spells into it again? Okay, so he's going to activate the Black King, which will allow Felt to leave play. Okay. Cool. Alright. I guess he wants to keep it alive, so there you go.
Oh.
Weird.
Okay, I think we'll be seeing a
card advantage. We saw from last time that literally any monster that survived could have won the game. I think that's where the mindset is.
Right.
Sure.
Saving Felt, even if it's just a bit thick.
Even if even the smallest of monsters could win this game.
He just has to have 50 power. Anything above 0, and you can use it for this late game. I do think it's in Diane's best interest to pop this False Ruler. 100%. Just get it gone. Because that will be the second False Ruler. And that means that if Crystic's going to use Space Bombs or something like that, you'd have to revive a False Ruler. You're not reviving something else like Leo. So I think this is 100% the best play. They can get rid of that False Ruler. There we go. So nice. That's doing it twice. Here we go.
Yeah, the Prisoner 93. Is there anything he can summon out?
Maybe not, but he doesn't need to. He just wants to kill False Ruler. It's a 1-for-1, but you're giving up a trashy, unable to use 93 for a really good False Ruler. So either way, it's a great spot to be.
But at the same time, the Jailer as well. That's
what? Jailer doesn't kill itself.
The Jailer's on a timer.
Oh, true. Yeah. Yes. But, I mean, you can force an enemy response. So because you pop the False Ruler, Crystic has no monsters in play. You can have Jailer. Heck, you can even play Scourge if you want to, and have two of them trying to go for lethal, forcing out more cards from Crystic. I think that's a really good play if that's what Diamond's looking to do.
I don't know about that. Having two monsters on the field could very well force out a Warfare, but
I mean, Crystic can just play Klydos here and don't lose health.
You're right. You are right. I mean, what could Crystic can't play anything right away. Oh, he could play Northern Air General. That's what he's thinking about. He's thinking about Northern Air General here.
Oh.
Crystic might actually go for that.
Oh, you're right.
That's what he's thinking about. He's thinking of Northern
And that
Air
revives
General.
the false roar at the end of the turn.
It does. It's a great play. But...
Wait,
no.
you can't buff it.
It doesn't... You can't... It has to actually use its specialty to be triggered and popped. So I don't know what he's talking about. There's nothing...
I think he's getting confused.
Yeah, no kidding. Poor Badger. Oh gosh.
Yeah, Badger has to keep an eye on Crystic trying to use False Roar when it can't.
I mean, this could be Crystic just checking if he can do it. Like,
Kill it! Come on, Diamond. That was your response. They gave the response. Quick, kill it. What are you doing? Oh my gosh!
It's probably thinking heavy about this.
Just kill it. It's false ruler. What are we doing here? Oh gosh, this is horrific. He's gonna. Seriously, if he uses Northern Air Gel, this is really bad for Diamond. Diamond needs that false ruler dead now. Oh gosh. Come on, Diamond. Here we go, it'll be Diamond going, at this point I was actually discussing thinking about using my third asset pile because that in combination with this card in my hand would have made a very big difference to the game state. I was having quite a fair bit of thinking and then I didn't actually see that he'd use his priority.
So, yeah, this is So, we're kind of making fun of it in a way, but Diamond does actually have, like, a really insane method to his madness. That's how he became the bridesmaid for the ACT.
According to his fourth spreadsheet, that his third spreadsheet predicted that he's got the exact combo.
I don't think he has
just not seeing the lines.
He's going in. It seemed like he was going into conflict, but I think he thought better of it.
Wait! Oh, he's going into conflict. What are you? Oh, he's going to. Okay. Wait, he's going into conflict.
No, he's going back into conflict.
Oh no! What is he doing? This is so bad. What?
This is a disaster just waiting to happen.
Oh my god!
No!
So bad.
Okay, now he's playing the Northern General.
So bad. This is so.
Diamond!
Why did you do this? I'm dying over here. This is such a... Oh, God. Oh, dear. That's horrific.
Oh, my...
Wait, if he's the bridesmaid, does that make you the bride for ACT?
Yes. Yeah, I married the ACT. Why do you think I won it?
And were you wearing white on that day, or...?
Nah, I was wearing a suit. ACT was wearing a warfare!
This is almost worse. This is actually... It's like they're both misplayed. I don't understand. This is like the best situation for Diamond. What happened? Have I missed something? I don't understand.
Wolfman is 100%!
That might be the worst play I've seen in my entire career. That might be the worst. I think they...
come on, you've seen me play. There's had to have been something worse.
I just don't know why you wouldn't use Northern Air Gel to get back your false roll. There must be something. Clearly, I'm just missing something. So, no offense, Crystic. I think I'm just missing something.
Yeah.
But
I'm missing something too.
Yeah.
From a standpoint. Yeah.
At least in my case, in that time where you questioned why I used War Gear, at least I had a young Basilisk. This is like...
Gosh. Don't mind me, Crystic. I'm just that guy at the bar that's saying he could have done this 13 years ago. It's just horrific.
Contra Gray not being a competitor himself.
Yeah.
I want to marry you.
Give it a reset. Trash talk, everyone.
Gosh. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, Mini Smoke. Misfire is not quite sure. Mini Smoke makes sense to me. Why did he put a warfare on the false rules that he lost both? Please help me out.
I don't know. I mean, we already have conditions for Narfen, and I mean, now he can play Klytus to pitch the Ruby Blessing and
It's
bring
actually
back Sky Warfare.
it's interesting because in that talk with Diamond I had, he actually did mention something very similar to where Crystic would make plays that were just not good, and this is an example of that.
I agree. I think that was a really rough play, but we also can't really mess with the madness. Like, Crystic has been doing so well. Like, I don't know if you remember, but his matches with Crimson, especially a lot of his early games, he has made a lot of these really unorthodox plays that somehow always end up him doing really well. Like, even that last game with Diamond, while it was a draw, I would 100% say, especially I know Minismo can vouch for this, that we were very on the Crystic train for winning that match. And we did not expect Diamond at all to pull it together. So he makes a lot of really weird plays, but then somehow it always ends up working out. I'm not sure. Maybe it puts Diamond off his game and thinks that he's not going to make the right play, and then Diamond makes worse mistakes. I don't know. I can't really. It's weird.
Okay, finally playing an asset monster. Let's see if a Crystic will try to force something out of Diamond.
This might be nice. I'd actually happen to say this is probably the most aggressive Crystic's been all game. Scourge is big. Scourge is such a help for the Dark Planet.
The power reduction doesn't happen yet, though. So
No, that's still 4K. It's big enough to defend for now.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. Quetzal will die in the next turn. Let's see, pass it over.
Charge is just enough to wall this turn.
No way!
Oh my god!
There's no way he actually has formula. Wait, I have to check that.
Wait, it says he played that during the... Gersh doesn't have a timer remove, though.
I don't know what he's done. I don't know what he's done. I don't understand. Give me a second. I gotta look at this. He did have corrosive formula. Oh, he actually did have corrosive formula. That's actually nuts. I can't believe that was in his side this whole time. I didn't think... Actually, you know why? He had that for the bandit loot misfire. He had it for the bandit loot. That's why he ran it. So he must have thought that, obviously Crystic was going to run the bandits.
But now... formula is until itself gets removed, not the monster. So Scourge still has corrosive.
And the best part is, Crystic can't actually pop formula. It's actually it stays forever. It's actually the only way you get rid of formula is if he pops it specifically, which I don't think Crystic. Oh, actually, Crystic does have Lancer, doesn't he? He has Lancer mechanism, I think. Didn't he do that? Because that's how he sent belts for Lancer. So he does have the ability to actually pop formula. This is really interesting. So a corrosive Scourge
to play itself.
It will specially move that and makes it corrosive, so it'll deal a damage to Crystic and then try. Well, it doesn't have multi attack, but at least he can get Crystic down, I guess. Interesting. This is.
All this corrosive isn't enough, though!
No, it's not.
No. He
It's
still
not.
has more health.
I think it just puts Crystic in a more of a precarious spot because now Scourge has enough. I don't know. Scourge can get it. I don't know. It won't be enough. You're right. There's nothing he can really do to get it enough unless he gives Scourge multi-attack, which he doesn't really have the ability to do. I think this is good for the sense that it does, give Crystic damage, but we might also. You could see a tribal hammer here. That would be kind of funny.
Wait, was Chris? I personally wouldn't go for the tribal hammer here.
Yeah.
It does remove the corrosive from Scourge, but it's not an amazing card. No, not an amazing strat. Oh, sorry. No, you're right.
The asset pile.
No, you're right. You're right. Sorry, I thought corrosive formula stays until it leaves play, but no, it's until corrosive formula leaves play. I forgot about that.
Yes.
Yeah. So tribal hammer doesn't do anything. So corrosive still triggers. Crystic is at 3. Scourge is going to die. I don't know. It's not. I don't think Crystic is low enough for that to be a big deal.
Yeah, Scourge can only come back 2 more times.
See, what would have been really good as corrosive? Black King. That would have been fantastic.
Ooh, yeah.
Black King would have been great. I suppose no one's made a Voltron deck with Black King, to be honest.
I have no idea what that is. It's
it's like where you get like a bunch of different cards to buff up the one monster. Like the whole deck is built to buffing up the one monster. And I feel like Black King has so many ways to be revived that it's probably doable.
Okay, calculated Gambit to discard Obsidian Hawk and Ruby Blessing to get the Sky Warfare.
Warfare, yeah. It'll be really Warfare.
It would get 2 It would get Warfare and it could get tactical support back from the Gambit.
True.
So, like I said,
why? I guess
it wouldn't be enough because Scourge can only come back 2 more times.
Yeah.
Maybe it's enough to get Crystic. It could be okay. No, Crystic's not falling.
Okay, so he's doing double warfare.
Eesh. Oh gosh.
Oh, he brought one with Gambit and brought the other with Ruby Blessing.
Yeah, such a good play. And he's going to get that Hawk back into the deck as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's very good. Very well played there. That is quite nasty. I think Diamond is going to have to heavily rely on Scourge here to pull himself out of this.
And we have to remember now Northern General can't be played.
Oh, true. Let's remember that, because that actually was something in the Crimson Crystic match that came up. So let's remember that. You can't actually use Northern Air General right now. That's actually a really good point.
Maybe he doesn't want to use Northern Air General at this point.
I suppose. I mean, he's got, I think... Yeah.
What were you saying?
I was just going to say, I think he's probably got enough board wipes now to deal with whatever Diamond has left. But you probably have something else you want to say.
Now, thinking about what's left.
I mean, at least here Felt can force something out of Diamond. Doesn't necessarily have to play any big stuff. Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do. Force another Scourge or another asset. And to be honest, I think there is only Dark Sentry and the Tacticalism. Because...
Oh, he's going to go Scourge. Oh, that's not great.
I wouldn't go Scourge here. Oh, I think he's just going to decide. I mean,
well, you got
the Sentry.
Sentry sucks here, though, because it just means that he can play Warfare and crash into the Sentry, and then you lose Sentry. And then he gets access to Northern Air General. It just... I think at this point, Diamond might be losing this one, unfortunately. I think if he'd kept Crystic low enough, it could have been a different story.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
Yeah, there's
there
the
is something
sentry.
else. Oh, it doesn't matter because Felt's not actually going to have to even attack. It can just leave play. Ugh. Yeah.
Ooh, exactly. He can Sky Warfare.
Which will trigger the Felt.
Oh, right. Yeah, Sky Warfare can trigger
Triggers
Felt.
Felt. Yep.
Yeah.
So nasty. God,
I
that's
mean,
nasty.
it's not the board wipe that activates Sky Warfare. It's the played. It's what activates.
That War Gear is not going to come out in time.
No, it won't. Gosh, that's terrible, Diamond. I think he's. I don't know. This will be interesting. So, it's an immediate proc because it says.
Right.
Played.
Yeah.
There
It's
isn't a
active.
gap.
There's no gap for War Gear. Let's see what happens here. If he special moves it, you might have to tell them that they can't. But we'll see what Badger says.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's also depending on if he activates the Felt now, or...
Felt active first. Yes, even Hero's saying it. Yep, so Badger's called it. So, now imagine... What?
He didn't activate the Felt...
Felt active first.
Wait...
You might want to send a message just to confirm Felt did not actually activate on Proc of Warfare. Okay, can you, I want to give him a pause. You can say hold or something. Just because that's... illegal. Oh, it's also the Warfare. It didn't activate. So we didn't trigger it off of Warfare? Because that's... I just maybe ask if he just to confirm he didn't activate it off of Warfare. Just because... Because I don't know, it seems weird.
Yeah.
What is pre-existing, so it has to go first.
Crystic chose not to use Felt.
Jeepers. Okay, so that does work. Okay, so War Gear does work here then. If he's not using Felt on activation of Warfare, then... Hey, did those Rebirth and other stuff go to the Perish Part? Did we actually see those go back?
Yes.
Good. Just in case. I don't think it really would have been helpful, but... Okay, so now he's forced to crash. So here's the thing. Here's something I'm thinking Crystic might be doing. Now, I could be crazy, but in his side deck, Diamond actually has 2 Corrosive Formula. So, if Felt goes to crash and he plays Corrosive Formula on his Sentry, then you could get Crystic low enough that more Scourge plays could actually win Diamond the game. But it depends on if he has a secondary Corrosive Formula. If he doesn't, then Scourge can't get it done alone. But if he does have the second formula and Felt attacks, then that actually could be good.
It couldn't either way because the Wolfman can stop one of them from even happening.
Well, he can't trigger the Wolfman yet, though. Because the Wolfman only triggers once Warfare's in the Perish Pile, and that's only in the Perish Pile once the conflict's been decided. So,
but after that, the Wolfman comes alive, so no matter what, at least one Scourge Corrosive will not proc.
I get what you mean. He could revive Dark Planet Sentry, though, and then he would have enough. Because he's got 3 plays left on Scourge.
2, actually.
Oh, 2, right. So he's got 2 plays left on Scourge. So if one of those gets cancelled out, and Corrosive because here, that's still enough for a Space Buns Dark Planet Sentry to win the game. Or Sentry of the Dark Planet. It's still doable. It's not amazing, but it's still doable.
We're still having a ruling question here. I think the game state has been resolved, so we can continue.
Yeah, I'm not. If it's special move, it can't trigger anything. So it's a 7450. This is probably going to be a crash from Crystic, which will trigger will not trigger anything unless Diamond has a formula ready to go. If Diamond has a formula ready to go, it's a bit of a bold prediction, but I think Diamond can win. But if he doesn't have one, I think he's lost. I don't think he has enough in the tank. Although, here's the thing. Crystic could actually play a Klytus here to prevent any sort of corrosive.
Yeah.
So that would be a good play. But is it
out?
I'm starting to, as we think about it more and more, I am starting to think that Crystic might just have all the answers right now.
Yeah. Wolfman, Leo, there's still a lot left in the tank.
How we are continuing this conflict stage. Is there anything that they worried about? No, I think they are.
I think they're thinking heavily about this because this was, like, even for us, this was a questionable game state. But yeah, apparently Crystic did not decided to not trigger Felt's specialty.
It is a big play there, but I still think Crystic's going to win this. I think we're going to get our first event-winning Canadian, which I don't think we ever had. Here we go. Still interacting. Cheapers. Alright. So this is going on for a while. Gosh, this is... I just hope the audio doesn't cut. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Jeepers. So, matches like these make me wonder, should I just times it by 5, put some good music on and chat?
I mean, come on, people want to hear me. So,
yeah, of course. Of course.
It's one rare occasion that we have the current ACT champion with us.
He's passing!
He's passing. Okay. So, this is where I would 100% corrosive formula. Or just, you could bring back, not bring back Scourge is terrible here, but I don't know. Diamond might just pass as well, and then we're back in with the first game where they both kept passing to each other because both players is technically bad.
Not again.
Oh,
yeah, it could happen.
If there's a pass here, we're rioting. I don't care.
There's the second formula!
There it is! Oh my gosh, I knew it! I knew he'd do it! I knew he'd do it! Oh my gosh, I knew it. I so knew it. I called it!
And that is in the cooldown!
Good. That's gonna be really good. That's really good. Wow, that's so good.
Going Titan!
Oh my gosh, he might be able to do this. This is so crazy. He might be able to pull this. Okay, so... Corrosive Formula, he's going to have Sentry on Corrosive Formula. He's got the ability to revive it at least once, because he's got Space Buns. I don't think he has any other way to do it. Marine Guard is going to... Which makes sense.
Oh, I think he will special to remove with Flush to... die with Timer!
Oh
no, and there's no way to respond!
There's no way to respond. It's gone. He can get it back though. It'll be back. He'll get it specially back. But yeah, that was a good play.
But now a Scourge has to revive in order to stay alive.
Well, it's a good question actually. I'm trying to have a look at something. Has he used both Prisoner 67s?
Prisoner 67?
So,
yeah, he has.
Okay, that's depressing. Then yeah, you might be right. He might actually have to. which would put his corrosive dreams on hold.
If you still have a second Ruby Blessing?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's absolutely outrageous.
So after Felt perishes, he can still play Clytus to bring back the Sky Warfare.
But in this situation, I don't know why you would. You still have Wolfman in the back pocket. And you need at least one Warfare in there for that.
Yes. Yeah, he needs Wolfman because he needs to be able to pop things on conflict to prevent the corrosive.
Can I make a prediction? I have a worry that Diamond's going to do something disgusting here. If Diamond plays Scourge, actually it doesn't matter. I just realized. I was going to say, if he plays Scourge, right, and Scourge is corrosive, and Scourge makes Felt's 0 stat line, and Crystic does not attack the Scourge because he doesn't want to deal with corrosive, if Diamond does nothing, then Crystic can't do anything either. Because Crystic has 0 stat line, he can't wound, and if Diamond refuses to play monsters, and Crystic refuses to play monsters...
Oh my god!
We'll have to see. He may just attack anyway and just go, stuff it, I'll take the corrosive. But if he doesn't, which he might just go, I'll wait it out, then technically Diamond doesn't have to do anything until Crystic presents a valid threat.
But can he, is the question.
It's disgusting, but technically he can do that. And the best part is, if he has anything, even like a 50 power monster, he can just trigger that warfare. He can kind of diffuse the bomb a little bit. So he's passing. Okay, here we go. So technically, if Diamond does nothing here, he can actually just pass it back and wait for Crystic to actually do something. We could see Diamond do that. Because he does think like that, and I think very much that Diamond could just straight up pass and be like, I'm not going to do anything. You do something. You got a 0 stat line monster. You have to play something to win. I want you to make the first error. Let's see. I mean, he may just play something and then we move on, but this will be interesting. So I don't know why he's looking at main deck. He must have... Probably shouldn't be looking at main deck. I'm not sure how
I don't think you're supposed to.
He's not supposed to. So I'm not sure why he's done that. He might have glitched out of it. Sometimes you accidentally click at it, but he's not meant to. It's not like a disqualification, but it's not really good either. I don't know. I have mixed feelings on that.
I'd say right now, if Diamond's I don't know why Diamond's looking through. At this point, if you're in a really tight game where you know you need every single last resource, and you still have cards locked, you might as well either have it in the brain, or have a notepad somewhere.
Which is probably what he's doing. Yeah, there's not a whole lot we can do either, because it's not really... This isn't really a situation where looking through the main deck would be enough to disqualify somebody, but it's also like, it's not that it doesn't matter, it matters actually quite a fair amount. I guess the only way you could combat this is to say Crystic can look through their main deck as well if they want to, but it's like, yeah, it's not great.
But doesn't Chris basically know?
Probably does. But that's the only way I can think off the top of my head, just because we can't actually prevent them due to the current way Untap works. This isn't like it's a real tournament where we can stop them from, physically from picking up the cards and looking.
It might have been an error, but...
I think the only thing you could probably do... Yeah, go on.
What were you going to say about the only thing they could do?
I was saying if you wanted to punish it without it like straight up declaring a winner, you could say Diamond's health becomes 3. That would be... You could take like a 5 health point. Oh, never mind.
It wouldn't matter.
Weird. Regen, anyway.
Wait, I think he's cycling!
Okay. So obviously he's got something he wants to get to. He's in a game of 2.
So we know he has a Titan Destroyer on the bottom. That's all we know.
Yeah.
He probably has 2 copies, right? Maybe?
Probably.
Okay,
The Clyde's coming down
again,
now?
Clyde's can't win the game either. Because Clyde's, if you read it, when this card is played, and neither player can lose health points. So even if he plays Clyde's, that doesn't force anything out of Diamond. Actually, no, sorry, this is played on Diamond's turn, sorry. I thought this was Crystic's turn, he was trying to attack with it. No, this is just playing cards, I guess.
And he sent the Warfare... The Wolfman's online!
Ooh, yeah, but you lost to Warfare, though. It's not that. I don't know. Mixed feelings on that. I feel like that's actually kind of good for Diamond. It means Northern's more likely to be used.
I mean,
Mixed.
there's still... I mean, you said there's like 2 revivals left. There's one for Scourge, and then the Wishgrain Space Buns to get back the Century. Yeah. There's a Wolfman and a Leo to deal with both of those.
Yes.
I feel like Leo's okay, because Leo's just one attack. Because you just gotta sack the health.
It's not the attacks, it's the monsters that are... It's the fact that the monsters that Diamond plays are no longer factors!
Yeah, I think that's the main point here.
So all he has to do, even if he deals with the Warfare that's currently on field, there's still 2 more board wipes left. Yeah. I think Diamond's in a spot now where he's probably run out of options.
I think Diamond's gonna concede.
Yeah, could be an angle here for a concede.
Could be. I don't know why you would use regen then, if you were looking to concede. So I don't know.
I mean, he must have something he desperately needs on his deck so he can have space to draw more cards.
Yeah.
I suppose.
I think what was paid off, it was Diamond, a lack of attacks in the early game. That was paying off here. He was like just attacking for 1 with Black King. Now Crystic has enough health to prevent a corrosive loss here. So if Diamond was more proactive and not gave Crystic such free turns.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Oh my god. I think Diamond knows the board wipes against his options.
Yeah, and you said there's still a Tribal Hammer, right?
Ooh, right. Yeah, there's still a Tribal Hammer.
Still a Tribal Hammer.
But at the same time, the only time he could really use Tribal Hammer against either Scourge or Century is now with Clytus.
Yeah, I mean, he could, board wipe and then... Yeah, I mean, Turbo Hammer wouldn't have any targets after Leo or Northern General. So...
Yeah,
best bet is now with Clytus.
Yeah, actually, Tribal Hammer wouldn't do anything in this situation. Because it puts it back in the asset, both Scourge and Sentry can be played from the asset for free.
Yeah, totally. Or could use on any normal basic monster.
Okay, still nothing happening.
This isn't like Diamond at all.
The only question I have is that are they arguing about something or is just Diamond thinking?
Could just be thinking. I think if it was arguing, they'd be spamming the chat. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Just long think. Okay.
Lots of thinking.
No advice.
Yeah.
It's actually quite interesting seeing the Clytus. Oh, you were talking about the space buns.
Yeah.
I don't
We'll
know.
do it here. Why are you doing this? Maybe is he gonna play like double corrosive? I don't know. There's gonna be something. You can't do that because of the northern.
He can
And the wolf mag come
Hold
down.
on. Space Buns is an auto though.
Yeah, Space Buns is an
what?
automatic.
Oh, so he's not triggering it. I'm confused. What's going on here?
wait.
I'm trying to figure out.
Wait.
So we play Space Buns. Northern Angel comes out.
But now that Space Buns is extinct. If he didn't activate it then.
I mean,
if he meant
to be
activate
fair,
it.
To be fair,
Wait,
either way,
Space Buns is on play. Why does he have time to?
He doesn't have time to, but I guess my thought is this: either way, Space Buns, both of them would be dead. So I don't know. He probably should. Can you just confirm Diamond did not actually activate Space Buns?
You can say.
And if he did, then it should proc. Because if he did actually, no. Okay, so he did not use it. He's just played Space Buns by itself. See, that's weird to me. Because why would you then Warfare or Northern Air General if there was no actual mention of Space Buns being used? I don't know.
Maybe that was the trick.
I guess.
I think the end result would be the same because instead of popping the space bumps, we'll pop the whatever space bumps plays from the parish.
There is a big difference here, though. Now, it's not a massive one, but there is. He actually has a second copy of Space Buns then.
But he can no longer use it.
But he can still play it as a monster. He can still play it as a monster and use it for any sort of, like, I don't know, if anything he needs. Well, he could buff it with Titan Destroyer Sword, and he has a monster that can attack then, which he wouldn't have if he'd used both, buns. So he,
But now we're in another. But now we're in another dilemma, because now that Wish-Granting Space Buns, that can't get. You can't use a Titan Destroyer Sword yet.
Yep. I think this is it, guys. I think this is it. I mean, both Warfare are gone and Northern Air General, which is probably the best chance that Diamond had to win. It's just Leo left, right?
Yeah, Leo left.
But
now
Diamond's got no other way to survive now. Once Leo gets played, it's over.
I mean, I don't think. I think was not a big misplay, but he wasted both Sky Warfares without activating because one with Clyda's page and another because Felt perished due to Northern General.
What if he has a second calculated gambit though?
Does he really run it?
Yeah, he probably does. Let's be honest. So this is probably the biggest argument for why Warfare should be once per copy. It's just typically I think the design process where these things break down is that as designers we think, oh well, Warfare when we first made it we think that'd be a really good one-off play, but we don't necessarily think. Like we just think, oh yeah, you probably only use this once or twice a game, but we don't think about the fact that there are going to be cards that are released. Gambit. Yeah, that will get more and more of these cards back.
Second Gambit, choose second Ruby Blessing to get both of them. Oh my god. So there's actually 6 times uses of Sky Warfare.
And now what? And now he can win the game on the spot without relying on Leo. He can use Warfare on Clytus. Clytus can attack in a Scourge. Warfare pops Scourge. Scourge cannot come back. And Felt just wins the game.
Yeah, or he can just Sky Warfare the Felt to shuffle it back because it got its specialty back since it was.
This was mid-conflict.
Oh, okay. So
if it's mid-conflict, the Fel cannot attack, and Clytus cannot wound.
Ooh.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So he needs Felt on board to... But I mean, he not necessarily needs to wound this turn.
Yeah.
Scourge will die, he can't be brought it back because it was the last time.
I mean, true.
Revive it.
But I wonder if Crystic sees that line and is willing to go there.
I mean, I think there's still a second Doomsday for Diamond.
Yeah, I believe so. But he also could have taken that out for Corrosive Formula.
Right.
Plus,
yeah, there's warfare.
Does he even have enough Dark Planets?
And it's going on the Clytus!
Yeah, there you go.
As predicted.
That is it! Good night, nurse! Sorry, Diamond, looks like you're the bridesmaid once again!
That is ruthless. I think that is gonna be it. Let's see. I think it's corrosive, though.
It's corrosive, but it's not gonna be enough!
Dang, damn it! I couldn't get him low enough, unfortunately.
I think it was those early turns.
Yeah. Okay, Clytus perishes.
Yeah.
But the Felt open.
The damage. Oh,
the silly raccoon goes for a game.
A silly raccoon.
Unless Diamond has a response right now, this is it.
That I believe so.
He went up!
Wait. Oh,
no, he went down!
Oh,
no, wait,
I think that's down. I think he's out, right? Because he's lost a health?
Oh, that was corrosive!
Yeah, it's corrosive, but...
Yeah, because he was at 11. Yeah, it was corrosive.
But he's not... But
is he going from 10 to 9?
That's the question. Is he going to lose another health? 10 to 11.
One. No, that's it!
Oh, that's game! That is game! Diamond
we don't have to go to a third!
Thank goodness has unfortunately not able to defend that. Crystic wins the Titan Cup, the very first. Canada! Oh, Canada! Has locked it in. How you guys feeling about that result?
Well, that means Crystic is likely going to be in the ACT, so...
Yes,
congrats on qualifying for that!
Such a roller coaster of plays and emotions here. Thinking Diamond will win, Crystic will win, but in the end, the board wipes were over. Diamond was overwhelmed by the board wipes.
100%. That wraps it up for us, guys. We're going to have to head off, and thank you guys for watching. Take it easy.
Alright.